Firstly, my name's Marcus McDonnell. I'm a property manager here for the Salvation Army, and it's a Dooralong Transformation Centre in the Dooralong Valley in the Central Coast. It's a place where people come and transform in this beautiful setting that we've got. There's approximately 149 hectares, including that is 47 of that landmass is conservation area. That includes there's spotted gum ironbark forests in the higher lands and also alluvial rainforest regions through the property. So it's broken up basically those two sections. At the base of the Wadigan Mountains, being one of the first areas of the water catchment, we have a little Jilliby Creek that runs through our property and eventually goes into the Wyong catchment and the Marty catchment there. So it's important that we as property holders, we recognise that we are part of the chain and the water for this local area. It's not just about people, and as the Salvation Army is well known to look after people, but they have an opportunity here with this land to also care for the land and care for the wider community in that water catchment, and they recognise that responsibility. The higher areas are they're like your typical Australian bush setting or your national park, but you do go down to those lower areas where it's a lot wetter, and it's like you're stepping into tropical Queensland, and it's really special to come out here and spend some time out here in those areas. Yeah, it's really nice. The CMA project's been a wonderful organisation, I guess, to be involved with. At first it seems quite daunting. It's a lot of area to deal with. There's a lot of issues that you need to deal with, and I guess if you're not studied in that area, it can actually be quite daunting. But with the CMA, what they've done, they've taken all that worry out of it basically, because what they've been able to do, they've worked side by side with us the whole time. If there's ever been an issue, not even necessarily in regards to the conservation area, but anywhere on our property, if we've had any issues, if we had weeds popping up or things that we weren't sure about, they're the first people who have said, just take a photo, send it in, we can do all the research for you, we'll let you know. Because they haven't just been interested in the parcel of land that they've put aside and they've locked into conservation, but they actually work with us on our entire property. A lot of it's track management. So we've had a lot of old fire trails and riding trails and that sort of thing through the property and through the conservation area. And some of our responsibilities as landowners has been to see those tracks closed down. Obviously, we are still able to have access and fire trails through our property, so it hasn't taken away from the protection of the property or our safety. But what it has done is had a look at the tracks that aren't necessarily necessary, and we've seen those closed down and to see those regenerate into the natural bushland. Some of the other works has been weed removal, identification and removal, and the CMA has worked with us to identify those weeds. We haven't had to run out and identify those ourselves. So they've really worked hand in hand with us to identify things that aren't native, things that are potential pests, and things that shouldn't be in the natural environment. And so we've worked with the CMA to remove those from the property, to see the return of natural grass, of native grasses and natural undergrowth, and all the way up through to the canopy. What have I learnt from the process? Just the process on how the bush regenerates, how we can give it its best chance at regeneration, the flow of water. I grew up on the Central Coast. I've seen a lot of change over this on the Central Coast over the 30 years or so that I've been here, and it's just wonderful to be part of a project like this, to see something locked in, to see something conserved for all time. I think the benefits of this program, they go far beyond just our property, far beyond what we're doing here. Again, for this particular property, it being a watercourse through that ends up in the catchment for the people of the Central Coast, it's important that while we have charge over our section of that catchment, that we do everything that we can to make sure that the water's clean, to make sure that water's protected, and to make sure that everything's healthy in the system that we've been in charge to take care of. When you think of it like that, it's not that much of a sacrifice to give up 47 hectares on a 149 hectare property. We've got it out the back here, and it's not we're not giving it up, we're giving it to our kids, we're giving it to the future. So it's been a privilege to be involved in that.